Inside Celeb Circuit today we have Rosemary Murray, affectionately called Rosie. She blossomed and flowered as the rose of the Jamaican stage during the 1980s. She gained a tremendous experience in the Jamaican stage, and she played in some of the largest houses right across the island, from juvenile lead as Princess Rose, dancing and singing in the national pantomime on All Purpose, Jenny the reformed prostitute in Hugh King's Night Work, Sony and Ginger Knight's Part-Time Lover, and Hyacinth in Boy Blue. Yeah, she's had quite extensive experience in theater, yeah, and also she would have worked in radio, appearing in even a number of docudramas, including Under the Law. Her voice can still be heard endorsing various products on countless radio commercials, and the characters created on a number of TV commercials continue to evoke laughter by many viewers. Good afternoon, Rosemary Murray.
Hi, good afternoon. I just wanted to sit up and observing my protocols so we can take off the mask now so you can see the rest of the face.
Yeah, please do. I'm sure our viewers on Facebook and YouTube, some of them might be saying, I want to see how she look. No. Thank you so much.
She can all like shrivel up, don't it?
You remember me?
Say what?
Do you remember me?
I'm sorry.
So
I can't see your face good. You look so familiar.
Do you all remember me? From where?
I all remember you now. I all remember the face very well.
All right, good.
Oh, you do?
I'm doing well. Life is so funny that now I'm interviewing you.
Look at life. Look at it.
Definitely.
Let me tell you, life has changed tremendously. I mean, when I was a little girl, I used to see things like this happening, I know, look at us. This is how we're communicating in 2021.
Yeah, certainly. Now, first, tell us about your childhood growing up. You made a huge impact as a theater practitioner and a radio personality. Were these elements of your childhood or was this a career path rather that you could have, seen from childhood?
Okay, so I grew up as the first child and only girl of teacher parents, educators, right? And of course, back in the day, educators had only certain career and certain professions that seemed to have mattered to them. And that was doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but from I was a little girl, I just had it that I wanted to perform. My mother told me a story about us making a trip in Port Maria back in the day, because then we lived in Jacks River as a little girl. And she said a blind man actually looked at her. Blind man, she gave him some money. And I asked the question, and he said, oh, your little girl is going to be a star. My mother told me that for after I grew up and got involved in this. And I was like, what you saying was blind, mommy? So how come?
Wow.
What vibrations did he pick up? Yes. So how I got into the whole performance thing was as a teacher's child, come end of year, come Christmas, come wrap up time, there was always and I remember doing my very, very first poem at about the age of Oh, I'm still here. Okay.
Yeah, man, you are.
You know that long poem about it was the night before Christmas,
Mm.
and all through the house. Yes. About 4 years old, I was reciting this poem. Dasher,
At four.
Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Yes, man.
At
Hmm.
four. Mm.
Yes, and then and it was a schoolmate of mine who hooked me up on Facebook. Facebook is a oh there. I'm still here, still here. Yes.
Yes, man. Yeah, you're here. Yeah, man, you're
Okay.
still here.
Yeah, you get to relink with persons that you probably just didn't even recall. And so a schoolmate of mine actually hooked me up on Facebook, and he says that he remembers me at about 6 telling everybody that I was going to act and I was going to do this on television and I was going to,
Wow.
yes. And
Wow.
I was like, him say, yes, from
Mm.
that age you were telling everybody that you were going to act. So it's one of those things that me don't know is which one did grab me first. If it's it grab me or is me grab it.
Why? I mean, the two of the book up. The two of the book up. But how did you get, how did you get your break? Because naturally at school you'd have stood out, you'd have had those experiences. But as it relates to the big stage, how did that breakthrough happen for you?
Okay, so having done school's drama festival, numerous new nominations during school's drama festival, I decided that I was going to enroll myself at Edna Marley. At the time, it was just called School of Drama. So I went and I enrolled myself there because I just felt that this is where I belonged. While there, there was a play by Pat Comper. Of course, you'd get involved in productions at Edna Manley, school productions, but there was a play written by Pat Comper called Rufus, where this really, really big actress had to leave the performance and they wanted somebody to replace her. And I was chosen as the person to replace her. That was a very,
Mm,
very, very first commercial play that I did. And trust me, it blew my mind, it blew my mind because then apart from the school productions, I got a taste of what the general public, the general theater audience liked. And boy, it from there on out, that was it. That was about 19, Lord, I'm gonna age myself now. This was about
mhm.
1970. Yeah, but late 70s, that's what we call it, late 70s.
Wow, wow. So you weren't nervous or anything like that because you had a lot of experience prior to that at perhaps a different audience, but receiving the love and the adulation kind of caused you to ease into it. I can imagine.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
And to be honest with you, I have been extremely fortunate to have worked with some of the best producers and directors from back in the day. Hugh King, directors like Keith Noel, Stan Irons, who directed me in the very first Hugh King play that I did, which was Night Work, where I had to play, let's just say, a prostitute that got sort of found Jesus. It's not really found Jesus, but reformed prostitute. And at first, I knew nothing about it because I really grew up very sheltered. I knew nothing about this. And I remember Stan Irons looking at me and said, look, you need to go and do some research,
mm.
okay? Because what you're doing right now isn't working. So after rehearsal every night, my friend and I would go and sit in the car park. At the time, it was the New Kingston Hotel, and there was a particular young lady on the corner. She used to wear full white and boots and thing. I'll never forget it because trust me, some of the things that I saw, I was like, I lied, them thing really go on. And I sat
Whoa.
down and I studied this lady. I studied her body language. I studied, how she interacted with her clients. And how I knew that I got it right was on opening night when I stepped on the stage at Barn Theatre. I didn't even have a line. I just walked on the stage in full costume, walked across the stage, walked back up, and I got an applause. And I say, yes, Jenny live. The name of the character was Jenny. I say, yeah, Jenny live. And it was so far from it was so far from anything that I'd ever been exposed to. And the person who had done the play before was a very, very good actress, and I'd seen her. And so, as a young actress, I was kind of tentative about stepping into her shoes. But
Yeah.
trust me, see from the get the applause there.
Yeah,
Yep,
man. It's slap way, slap right way.
slap way.
Now, who are some of the persons that you've enjoyed acting with the most, and what are some of the memorable experiences acting with them?
Okay, well, I'll tell you that my mother in theater and radio as well, the lady that really gave me the drive to do what I'm doing now is Leonie Forbes. Because
Mm,
I remember when my parents asked me, so who you see look like you on TV? You don't see it's a whole heap of Caucasian people and so, oh, you mean you wanted the TV and you wanted the stage? I said, oh yes, there is Leonie Falls because she was the closest person that I could find who looked like me, who didn't have one broad nose and who was, was there doing her thing. And so it was Leonie Falls who was also on radio. And so I aspired to doing radio as well because I just had to get those mellifluous tones that I heard coming from Miss Forbes. You understand me? Um, Fortunately for me, after many, many years, I actually am a theater mother now. I've played her daughter in a few roles. One of the roles I actually received an Actor Boy award for Best Supporting Actress. Um, and that to me is one of the like a bucket list, you tick off that one
mhm.
off a
Yeah,
bucket list.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Coming up through the years, though, I've shared the stage with Oliver. I've shared the stage with Valère Johnson. Dion Silvera is like my theater sister because, trust me, we've played many roles together, and she's my close, close friend.
Mm,
Glenn Titus Campbell is someone that I've done a series with. We've done a number of plays together. We also had a comedy duo called Wonder Twins. You remember one time there was a cartoon named Wonder Twins? Well, of course, we did have to break it down and call
yeah.
ourselves Wonder Twins, WANDA. And to this day, that's how we address ourselves, even when we hail up on that wonder, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool.
I've
How
worked with some excellent producers as well and writers, the likes of David Toller, the likes of Hugh King, you know, Ed Wallace is another producer. Um, boy, just too many to recall. The great Barbara Gludon, who did a number of satirical series, and of course wrote some pantomimes as well. Just a number of really
yeah,
amazing people.
vast, vast
And I
array,
just,
vast.
yeah, man, I feel so blessed because trust me get to work with them, I can say, yes, man, but work with them people here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That must be a rewarding experience. I mean, well, at 3, at 4, and 6, you were already declaring it and say though you forgot, but I'm sure. Were you ever, awestruck at the impact that you were making and the individuals that you were around?
Listen, me I tell you, talk about awestruck. But they used to become a one actress, me just kind of just make it just go like, oh yeah, man, I know nothing. But
Yeah, you saw it off.
yeah, man, yeah, man, nothing. Yes, I may do a play with so and so and so, but you go home and you say, wow, so and so direct me. Paul Campbell, me in a movie with Paul Campbell, me get directed
Mm,
by one international director. You know what I mean? Um, I must say that I really feel very, very blessed. I feel very, very fortunate for the road that I've traveled. I don't know, I suppose being a free spirited person from very young, I decided to take on everything as an adventure, which I have written about in my one woman show called Slice of Life. Because out of every, call it adversity, I've learned lessons, and I have faced a number of adversities in my life and overcome them. And so I think that this has helped to enrich me to become the kind of peaceful, somebody at peace at this point in my life, and having the ability to share all that I've learned with others. To me, like that's my kick right now, directing, writing, just helping others to hone their talent, because in the days of coming up, I got my share of help.
Wow, wow, that's very powerful to, acknowledge the help that you have received, and not just acknowledge it, but be that resource personnel for someone else coming up, and that's really powerful. But I see that in your work with the JCDC, because you've worked with them extensively. Tell us about that, and I'm sure that was connected to your desire to give back.
Oh yes, because I as a youngster did my share of JCDC. Me tell you the truth, me no remember the medal them day. My mother did keep all of the medal them. I mean, I know my mother do with them. But
You know, so
now getting,
me miss
say
one
what?
medal. I know my mother is listening. Me miss one medal. We should have get one gold medal one time on boys choir. But we don't want to talk about it. Can you go back? Anyway.
Have mercy. No, we can't talk about it on the ear. Remember sending me alone a judge, you don't want me alone, right?
No, no. So it was a singing thing, and we messed up the choir. I don't know what
Yes.
happened. Yeah, we messed up bad. What is your story? Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Oh, that has been really, really enlightening and enriching, because traveling across the country and really just absorbing the amount of talent, the amount of talented youths that we have. It blows my mind each and every time that I adjudicate, whether it be at the parish level or at the national level. And even just to acknowledge that some of these youngsters are going to come into their own. They're going to come into their own, and they will be walking in shoes, like, shoes that we leave the imprint. Because you can, I'm still here. Okay. Yes. And even to have them call you after and ask for guidance, a lot of the times, some of the students and even the teachers don't necessarily pay any attention to the comments that you make at JCDC, those comments from the adjudicators. And the truth is that we as an adjudicators, sometimes we argue, we argue enough, because me might probably feel like, no man, this one push out enough, and the other one say no. But you have to look at the criteria, and the fact is that so and so never happened. I say, but Lord, no, but look at how she expressed herself, and look how he immersed himself or so. And trust me, we argue enough at the table.
Okay, okay, okay. I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that at all.
But I think that those comments that we make, it's true. It's true. We argue enough, because all the time we agree.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, there's some that you would definitely across the board. You say, all right, moving reality, that maybe with another tutor or with a director, they could have just taken it to that other level. You understand?
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Now, you, I'm sure, are not only an actor or a really personality, working in media. What are some of the other things that you do, perhaps for fun, or other interests that maybe we are unaware of?
Lord Master, too much, too much. Okay, so my
Then,
mother, my mom, my mother was a home economics teacher, right? And so I actually started baking my first cake from I was 8 years old. From I went and told her I wanted a cake, and she said, "You can read, right?" And I used to help her. Yeah, she said, "You can read. The recipe is there. The kitchen is there. Go bake." So I've been baking from I was about 8 years
I've
old,
never
and
heard
this has
of
become.
yourself.
So what?
You never heard of yourself.
No, no, man. No, sir. Because I used to be in the kitchen with her. I was always in the kitchen with her. So I understood what to do and
Wow.
what not to do, you know?
Okay. Okay.
And so now I actually have my brand called Slice of Life. Well, Slice of Life is Slice of Life, the stage show, Slice
Mm-hmm.
of Life, the baked goods, Slice
Wow.
of Life, the story. You know what I mean?
Your favorite
Because like
baked product.
life to me, listen, you just have to just take a slice out of everything that happens to your life, you know? So baking is a
Mm.
passion for me. I have some people now who have not eaten anybody's Christmas cake for the past at least 15 years because from them had the first cake, them said nobody else can be a cake for me. Um, Music is another passion of mine. So I'm an avid music collector.
You collect
Um,
music.
Yes, man, me have one whole library in my yard. One whole
Mm.
library. My very, very
Wow.
first job, was at Federal Recording Company. I
Okay.
don't even know. I don't even know if you know what that is. That is where the Tough Gong is now, and that's one of
No.
the oldest recording companies in Jamaica that actually used to press records there. So
Okay.
from my very first job, which was like at about 18, I was sitting down in the studio and listening to some of these people make some awesome music. So that has been an integral part of my life, collecting music and actually playing at private parties. Me love
Oh,
rock one party. May I tell you? There's
okay.
nothing sweeter. There is nothing sweeter than playing at a party and watch all of the stush people them who come in very stush and very staid, and the music start reach them until liquor
Okay.
start reach them. And by the
Lord
time
of,
you reach, get the cat, everybody broke out and wild.
Lord of mercy. Tell me now, you mentioned a passion of yours, baking. Is there a favorite type of cake or favorite baked product that you have? Mine would be cheesecake. I'm not sure if we share that in common.
Yeah, cheesecake could really take a big baking still, to be honest with you. But
But
a good
but
Christmas cake, what is it?
the flavor is,
Cheesecake. Yeah, but
so you know,
cheesecake
like
don't take a big baking. No, me like cheesecake,
everybody
but
can
I'm
do it
just
though.
saying, yeah, no, cheese. You never ever follow the recipe good. 'Cause I don't really take no serious baking skills. So
Mhm.
I think
So you say it's a traditional Christmas
you see
cake
a
is
good
the
Jamaican Christmas fruit cake.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So
man. Sweet
okay,
potato pudding with all of the full ups on top. Yes.
I hear
Bread
you.
pudding.
I hear
Yes.
you. Okay,
Um, Cornmeal pudding. I'm venturing now into oatmeal cookies and carrot cake. And
carrot
for
cake is good.
Valentine, I'm going to be doing some sorrel cake because we have to get the red in there, but we have to use thing that's uniquely ours. Yes, man.
All right, that sounds good. Sorrel cake. That sounds like a specialty item. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really
Yep.
good. All right, all right. Now, so that's music. That's baking. What else are you involved in?
Oh yes, and pets, and pets. Me love dog. I'm sorry, I forget about that. My dog them. Me love dog too.
Mm,
So I have my
mm.
dog them,
I should
and
have.
I also have a cat that just some kittens. So I have kitten I give away.
Oh, okay, okay. So how the two of them fight? Just wondering, are they live in harmony?
Say, no man, they live in harmony, man. No man, there's
Okay,
all harmony in my yard between the birds and the dogs and the puss and the bees. They all live in harmony.
okay, all right. That's great to know. Now, what words of advice would you give to someone who looking on your life and seeing how very much relevant you still are, having experienced theater and media in its wide array of uh, activities. How would you encourage someone to launch out and to venture into the unknown in a sense? Because for you, historically, especially socially rather, you would have been exposed to theater as much, but you still launched out in that realm. How do you encourage someone along that line?
Okay, so the first thing is that you have to have a dream. That's the very first thing. You have to have that dream. You have to have that confidence that you can achieve that goal that you dream of. Then you've got to research. You've got to research. For somebody who's interested in theater, you've got to do a whole lot of reading. You have to read a lot. You have to watch a lot of I would say old um, films, old plays. Look at how the traditional people did it, because I think that there's a lot of shortcut that's happening now that I don't think augurs well for some of
Mm,
those areas
interesting.
in entertainment.
Interesting. Yeah.
For radio, you have got to make sure. I tell you the yeah. All right, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
All right, I think I'm back now. Yes, right. So, um, hone yourself, hone your skills, read aloud, read passages aloud, record yourself. If you're more musically oriented, make sure that you know a range of music. It's not just dancehall, and it's not just lovers rock, and it's not just R&B. Make sure that you inform yourself. Make sure that you look up the music. Make sure that you play it. You understand the difference in the genres of music. Um, Make sure that you listen very carefully and you equip yourself with information that will interest, uplift, educate, motivate your audiences, because broadcasting is not just about hype. you know you're there, and you're there with a purpose. And there are a lot of persons who lock into you and log into you because, boy, you don't understand how much of a lifeline you are to in my slice of life show, I speak that have happened on air, and I even remember. All right, yeah, you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we're hearing it clearly now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually at a space where another rehearsal is happening, so I came outside. So
Okay.
that's probably why we're having some streaming issues. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember one Saturday morning when I was on, I think it was KLS at the time. It was another radio station, and I was playing the song about pick yourself up, dust yourself up, and there's something, a vibration told me to do it again, start the song at the top, and play it again. And I got a call from a young lady who said, "You don't know what you did for me this morning." She said she had a baby, she had lost her job, the man had left her, and she actually was thinking about committing suicide. And she said just that morning, when she heard what I had to say and the song about just not making it kick you in the face and don't make life stop you, to just get up and do it, she said she had to call me and say thank you. So I'm saying all of this to say it's an area, it's a profession that you really shouldn't take it lightly. So equip yourselves in whatever way that you see fit to be that person that can entertain, that can uplift, can motivate, can educate.
Powerful words coming from someone who has lived the life and has made the impact. Thank you for sharing that. Always, one common thread I hear from everyone whom I've interviewed is the commitment to development, continuous learning. That's a common thread, and you mentioned that just a while ago as it relates to reading and researching and getting better. So always a mark of greatness. Thank you so much, Rosemary Murray, actor and media personality. Thank you for joining us here inside Celeb Circuit. Have a wonderful rest of the afternoon and continue making us laugh and feel good in
It's
life.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And just before I go, I just want to say that having gone through a health crisis 3 years ago, and just the outpouring of love and endorsement and help and assistance that I received and continue to receive that support from persons right across the globe, I just want to say a big, big thank you. Bless up on yourself. Yes. I just hope that everyone will keep safe and weather themselves through this pandemic that we are now and loving a bad. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Our pleasure. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Celeb Circuit. This is Love 101, the family station.